Hey, Pastor Steve Waldron here today. I want to talk to us for just a few minutes of the superiority of the translators, the individual translators of the King James Version of the Bible. You had men like Lancelot Andrewes, who jokingly, it was said halfway, that he would have been interpreter general at Babel. He knew 20 ancient and dead languages, modern ancient and dead languages. Most of the people that were translating at the King James Version of the Bible, they did nothing but study language. They had read all the extant literature from every cognate language that was in existence, all the Homeric Greek, all the Attic Greek, all the Koine Greek, every type of Greek, classical Greek that was out there. They had read all of the early church writings. They had read everything extant, or at least many of them had, from the Hebrew language, Hebrew commentaries. Because think about it, that's all they had to do all day. They're on the king's dole, the king's dime. And, 12, 15, 16 hours a day, they're studying. They're aggressive. One man, there was a King James translator. By the time he was 5, John Boyce, he had read the New Testament through in Hebrew at 5. By the time he was 12, he was then entered as a Greek scholar under that eminent 40-year-plus professor of Greek, Andrew Downes. And so beginning at 12, and they would start at 4 in the morning, many times go 8 at night, do nothing but study Hebrew and Greek. So it was just something, it wasn't mechanical, it wasn't electronic, it wasn't any, they had read all the literature, they knew exactly what was meant. And so the superiority of the King James translators is one of the reasons God, and then the divine providence of God, they were spiritual men, they prayed, asked God every time before they would translate according to the translators to the readers, to help them, to guide them. And they considered the Bible to be written as God's secretaries. They were God's secretaries, very famous book out by Nicholson on that. And they believed in inspiration of the Scripture. And they were under death penalties and interdicts from the Pope. This was not some rote exercise. This was life and death. This was culture. This was poisons. This was gunpowder plots. This is, Jesuits. This is Spanish armadas. This is all of this. This is, a life and death proposition. And they knew they had to come out with the Scripture without one error. I thank God, God helped them do that. So the superiority of the King James translators, yet another reason to just believe the King James Bible. God bless you today.